Okay, guys. Put that line back there. That one of them. Yeah. Hit it. Okay, never mind. Hit it again.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're back this week. Does anyone have any questions about the stuff that we covered last week? Trouble spots and you in the front.
I don't have a question, but I would just like to say that I really started working with it, like you said.
Yeah.
And it really made my life a lot simpler.
Yeah.
I produced almost twice as much today
That's good.
on my test
That's
as
good.
I did without it.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys could hear that, but Valerie was saying that she started using Eclipse a lot more and it's really helped her. Guys, this is the whole point of this class. This is the whole point of it, is to help you guys make things easier, okay? It's all about working smarter, not harder, okay? So the more you use it and the more you mess with it, the more you're gonna see what it does and you're gonna know the functions and relate to the functions better and then be able to use it in your editing. So your editing time is gonna cut down tremendously. And that's the whole point of this.
Can we make a form?
Speak up.
Can we make a field
Mm-hmm.
that puts in the information, like our test, you put your name, your speed, the date, and whether it's like Q&A or whether it's jury charge or whether it is literary? Can we make a form so that we can just plug that in and put, just put in the dates?
Yeah, that might be this. That might be form fields.
Okay.
So you might be able to do it with this. And then kind of create, the question was, if you can create something to where it already has your name, whatever, and then it just kind of has a blank form field. And really what it's going to be is it's going to be a block file. And I don't know if the student version is going to allow you to make a block file or not. We'll see. I think it does. So, and if you can make a block file and then just go in there and then, just select it every time. And all you have to put in there is just like name it. And then, it'll do it like that. So we'll go through the lesson, and if it doesn't do it in here, then I'll take some time towards the end of the class and then kind of explain it. And then maybe we can do it that way. And then you can just kind of fill it in where it's just kind of a fill-in thing, and then you hit the E for fill in a blank field, and then you just kind of fill it in as to Q&A 160, the date, whatever. Because really your name's going to stay the same. So that's not really going to be something that you're going to fill in. It's just going to be...
The only thing that might change is the date and...
Yeah, the date and whatever test that you're taking.
Yeah, the speed, yeah.
Yeah, so. Okay, guys, this week we're going to talk about form fields. And this is where you have fill in the blanks of like the witnesses, the dates, the type of hearings you have, maybe the attorneys that are involved, stuff like that, examinations, okay? All right.
Let's see how Total Eclipse form fields make it easy to fill in the blanks for information that changes from transcript to transcript, from transcript to transcript. There are several ways to begin filling in the blanks. You can click on a toolbar menu, or go to the production menu, or use speed key Control E, or hyperkey E. In this blank, I'll type in
Okay, you understand what it said right there, right? So that's already saying that the form field is already there. So in hyperkeys, you're gonna use E. Just E, and it'll go to the next form field, okay? If you're not in hyperkeys, then it's Control E. Got it?
speed key Control E or hyperkey E. In this blank, I'll type in a number, and pressing Enter is OK. Blanks can be set to automatically adjust their size to accommodate your text, and to delete the entire line they're on if you leave the blank empty. So the line that was here was automatically deleted. Blanks can also be set to completely capitalize whatever text gets placed in them, and to look in a list file to give you choices. This blank knows how I filled in the witness's name in other spots in my transcript, and it's prompting me in case that information has changed, but I'll just press OK. And finally, form fields can make it quick and easy to insert client information. Within these short presentations, it's not possible to show all that form fields can do. So a separate in-depth ePower video tutorial is available on form fields and automatic indexing.
Okay, that's how you fill in stuff. And it's real basic. We'll kind of get into it more. Maybe what I think what I may do is kind of show it to you now, just because that question was brought up. Show you the more in-depth one about form fields, and we'll just kind of go over that instead.
So where do you put this information? Where does it go on the document? Is that which page is this stuff going on?
It's going to be different pages. So like on on your title page, you have 3 pages. You have the title page, which has everything on it. You have your appearance page, which has all of your attorneys and who was there. And then you have your witness list, okay? So those 3 pages are gonna come in on your title page. And all of those are gonna have form fields, okay? And I'll kind of show you right now. I'll kind of show you in my document. I think it's keeping me in the tutorial version. Okay. This is kind of what it looks like, and for the reason that, you know, I guess I have it hooked up to the projector or whatever, it cuts off some of the page. So, you know, we're not able to see the whole. I don't think it's going to let me move it over either. No. No, I can't move it either way. But these little blue fields right here are form fields. Okay, so you have your title page right here. Let's see if it'll allow me. Oh, it does go over a little bit. See? And that's kind of what it looks like. So you have, you know, and it may, you know, especially like in ours, you may have several volumes because you may have several days. So every day indicates a volume, okay? So it may be volume 1 of volume 5, of 5 volumes, okay? So, I mean, you go in there. So if you're here, you're in hyperkeys, which how do you get in hyperkeys? How do you turn on hyperkeys? Alt Z. Okay. So how do I go to a form field in hyperkeys? E. So you go to E, and that's what it does. So it allows you to go in there and fill in the blank to whatever you want. Okay. So let's just say I'm filling it in. Well, you know what? This is volume 1. So all I have to do is press enter. It leaves it in there, and it's only 1 volume. So I press enter again. Then it takes me to the cause number. So then I put the cause number in, and it's, 2015 dash PA dash 00999. And that should be all caps. Press enter, and it puts it in there. Okay, I'm not gonna put it in there because this is my main title page, so I don't wanna mess it up. So when you put it in a document, when you read in a block file, what you're gonna do is go to Alt-R. Alt-R allows you to read in a block file.
And that's what this is?
This is not. What I went to right here was Alt-E, and I went in, and then it has a whole thing of my block files. So if I want to go in and modify them, that's what I want to go into, is Alt-E, and I want to go into the block file itself. Alt-R is going to let me choose whichever block file I want to read into my document. So whether it be you marking an exhibit, taking a break, certificate page, examination, direct examination, cross-examination, redirect, recross, all of that stuff is in there. But, that's kind of how you go through and fill it in if you've already read it in. So let's just say I read it into the document, that's what it's going to look like, okay? And then you just push E again. Okay. So that's what you do right there. So really what you're gonna do is you're gonna read it in. Go back in. So that's what it allows you to do. So like I was saying, if you want to read it in a block file, it's Alt-R, okay? Alt-R will take you to, so if you go to Alt-R, it brings you to all of your block files, okay? So if you see, this is all of just your block files. So I have like lunch, further examination, exhibit, discuss. Some of these I don't even use. Whether it's a state's exhibit, plaintiff's exhibit, bench conference, stuff like that. So if you go to Alt-D, it's going to bring you right here. So this is all of your stuff, okay?
So right now if I press Alt-R, it takes me to the same place that Alt-E does. Is that because I have no block files?
That's because you have no block files. Yeah. So in the next class that we do, I'll give you the block files. I'll give you my block files. We'll read them into your computer, then you'll have block files, okay? But right now you shouldn't have any.
And you don't use block files, like, it doesn't connect to the machine where all you have to do is press a certain brief or something and have the block file come up.
Yeah.
Or is that how
It can.
It can?
Yeah. So like DRAM, and you'll learn it in the other class, is going to be direct examination, or DRAM. And it all depends on what you want to use for that brief. And then it'll automatically come up in bold, direct examination or cross-examination. by doing something on your machine, by hitting a certain brief, that's gonna come up every time.
And that's how you insert yours?
Mark is an exhibit mark and it automatically comes up. So then I have a form field, and I'll kind of go in and show you. Let me see if it'll let me do it. Right there. Let me show you. Yeah. This isn't even it. This isn't the right one. I think it's kind of doing some weird stuff because we're in that tutorial. Let's see. See how whereupon, and then I come here, press E, and then I put like states or respondents or defendant or whatever you want right there. Exhibit number blank, whatever, exhibit you're on. So that's how it was marked. So that's how I have it set up. You keep it pretty simple. You just want to let them know exactly what was marked, who was marking it, and what number it is. Okay? So that's why I only have like 2 form fields in there. Everything else is going to stay the same. Unless you have several, then once you've already read it in, you just come right there, push in. S, if it's, like say they marked 9 exhibits. So then now you put states exhibit up there, if that's who marked it, exhibit numbers 1 through 9, and then go in there and change were marked, okay? Any questions about that? Okay. So this would be like if you read the form filled in, you just kind of come in there and it's just, and then you fill it in, press enter, and it automatically puts it there. So that's what the form fill does. Okay? Any questions about that? Pretty easy stuff, guys. I've kind of gotten a little off track, but you can go to the next one, E. So like you can build these list files also. So like, say you take depositions for certain guys and you have them all the time, and he's one of your clients or she's one of your clients and you take their depositions all the time, then you can go in there and pick, whichever one it is, and then it automatically, let's just say it's that one, automatically has all of his information already in there. So you don't have to go in there and type it every time, just like she was saying. So you can make these little form fields or whatever to do that, to where it's already automatically put in there. Okay. So any questions about that? And you can kind of mess around with it. If you're in the tutorial, kind of mess around with it. Do E and then type your name in or whatever, and just kind of select. So you kind of know. Like I said, the more you mess with it, the more you're going to understand kind of what it does. And you'll understand, more about it. So next time that you go to use it, or if you want to use it, then, you kind of know what the function is. You're not just kind of lost. Any questions about that? No? All right. What I may do, let's see. So I'm gonna go a little bit out of context here, and I'm just gonna kind of show you guys about form fields, okay? And we'll kind of cover that. Usually it's covered in the next class, but since that was brought up, it may be something, you know, you kind of want to use, and it's actually kind of neat. It'll save you a little bit of time.
The reason why I asked was because today I was typing in, I got as far as my name, and I did a carriage return, and I typed in another line, and without touching the keyboard or anything, it wouldn't let me put any more information in. So I just,
That's when you have to do that insert. Happened to me too today during the test. And like I couldn't do anything, I couldn't press enter and I had to click that. It's control N or N depending on if you're in hyperkeys.
Yeah.
And it will let you enter stuff.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking real clear.
Well,
so
yeah,
I said
when you're,
this
yeah, you're
here.
just go correct.
Okay.
Let's take a quick look at how to add or modify an Eclipse form field. Eclipse form field. Here, X marks the spot where I'd like to insert a form field for my exhibit number. I can get to the Add Blank dialog by clicking on the toolbar icon, or by going to the Edit menu to insert a blank, or by using Speed key Control A, or Hyperkey capital E. The field label is total.
Did y'all get that? So Shift E is going to allow you to do that in hyperkeys. So it's Shift E in hyperkeys, or Control A, I believe they said. I don't really use the Control A. I usually use the Shift E. So that's going to allow you to make a form field, okay? So if you kind of want to mess with that, you know, you kind of can. You know, just, you know, if you're in hyperkeys in that thing, try it and see if it'll allow you to do it. Or not. Whatever you want to do. It does?
Oh yeah, mine's already open.
Oh, okay. Everyone do it? Slick? Got it? Okay.
Control A, or Hyperkey capital E. The field label is totally optional. It's just a name that will appear on your blank before you fill it in. The field size here will be irrelevant because I want this to be an adjustable field that will automatically shrink or grow to accommodate my text.
You see what it's saying there? So you really want it on adjustable, okay? Because this way you can type as much as you want. If you have, let's just say you make a form field and you set it on 10, it's only going to allow you to put in 10 characters, I believe. I don't know that it's going to allow you to do any more. Okay? So you want it adjustable to where it's going to adjust to what you're doing, you know, however long you want it. Okay?
Selecting a variable, in this instance, tells Eclipse to remember the last exhibit number and show it to me, but prompt me so that I can change it to the next exhibit number.
You see what it's saying there? So it's just going to tell you what the next one is, okay? Make sense? I'll rewind it a little bit and play it again for you.
Text. Selecting a variable, in this instance, tells Eclipse to remember the last exhibit number and show it to me, but prompt me so that I can change it to the next exhibit number. When I press the OK button, the blank is created for me. And let's also make a blank that uses a file listing parties. I want this blank to act as if it were the last field. Now let's fill in these blanks. This number blank is remembering the last exhibit number and making it easy for me to change to the next exhibit number.
You see what it's saying? So it remembers the last one that you marked, okay? So it's going to put it in there and it's going to tell you, you know, is that the one that you want? Because the last one was 237 or whatever, okay? Do you want 238 or is it something else? So it still allows you to change it if you want to change it, okay?
After I filled in that blank, the system scans to the next blank and offers me a choice of parties. When I press the OK button, the scanning stops because this blank was set to act as a last field.
So that's why you want to put last field in there, so that it already knows that that's going to be it. Okay? And with the party, you know, it gives you a listing of the parties, so you can put whatever listing you want. Okay? I'm going to go back and play this again, just because it's kind of important. There's kind of a lot of information in there, so I'm going to play it one more time.
Going to the Edit menu to insert a blank, or by using Speed key Control A, or Hyperkey capital E. The field label is totally optional. It's just a name that will appear on your blank before you fill it in. The fields.
So it can be whatever you want. So your field label is going to be like witness, date, name, whatever you want it to be. So that really doesn't matter. You know, it's only going to come up in the blue, and it's going to kind of give you an indication of what needs to go in there. So I mean, you know, when you're creating this field, you know, for your test or whatever, then you can create it as, you know, name, and you can type your name in every time. Or, you know, you can make that field for party to where you can put your, you know, name in there. It's always going to be your name because it's going to be your test. So, I mean, there's really no other reason to do it. That's what I'm saying. You really don't need to make a field for it, but, you know, if you want to, that's fine.
Size here will be irrelevant because I want this to be an adjustable field that will automatically shrink or grow to accommodate my text. Selecting a variable, in this instance, tells Eclipse to remember the last exhibit number and show it to me, but prompt me so that I can change it to the next exhibit number. When I press the OK button, the blank is created for me. And let's also make a blank that uses a file listing parties. I want this blank to act as if it were the last field. Now let's fill in these blanks. This number blank is remembering the last exhibit number and making it easy for me to change to the next exhibit number. After I filled in that blank, the system scans to the next blank and offers me a choice of parties. When I press the OK button, the scanning stops because this blank was set to act as a last field.
Got it? Okay. Pretty neat stuff right there. Really good stuff too. So if you want to go through, you know, if you're following in on the tutorial, you can kind of go in and fill in these things too. If you want to just kind of mess around with it, you know, go to E. It's going to tell you, you know, the deposition of, you know, automatically usually go to the next one, okay? So now you're at the offices of, it shouldn't give me a field and it didn't. Let's just say the job. So, okay, so you can kind of go in there and kind of mess with it a little bit. Any questions about that?